One thing that has always bothered me about the Dead Space universe is not just what's there, it's what isn't. This is a civilization with planet-cracking mining ships, faster than light travel, artificial gravity, massive orbital infrastructure, and yet when the necromorph apocalypse hits, there are no real autonomous war robots, no true drone armies, no independent kill grids, no mechanical defense network that doesn't rely on fragile human minds. And the more I think about that absence, the less it feels like bad world building. It feels deliberate. And once you connect that to the insane amount of money poured into EarthGov and Unitologist projects, it starts to look like someone has been pulling the strings from the darkness this entire time. Look at the universe we're given. Humanity doesn't just have advanced technology, it has absurdly expensive technology. Planet crackers alone are economic megastructures. Entire religious empires are built in space. Secret black site marker research stations exist across star systems. Frozen planet expeditions are funded like wars. Entire cities are constructed in orbit. None of this is cheap. None of this is grassroots funding. This is the kind of spending that implies a hidden, untouchable economic engine operating behind public governments. And yet, when things go wrong, humanity is almost always defended by regular soldiers, basic turrets, and thin security forces. No autonomous robotic armies. No independent extermination networks. No true mechanical countermeasure to a biological extinction threat. And that should be a massive red flag. Because the very first logical response to a biologically driven apocalypse would be non-biological defense. Machines don't feel fear. Machines don't hallucinate. Machines don't worship markers. Machines don't get overwritten by alien signal indoctrination. Machines don't panic in the dark. A fully autonomous defense system would be the one thing the markers couldn't easily corrupt at scale. And yet, humanity never commits to that path, which raises a terrifying possibility. What if it was never allowed to? What if somewhere above EarthGov, above Unitology, above public human politics, there exists a shadow layer of power that quietly controls which technologies are allowed to mature and which ones are suppressed? Because the moment you introduce true robotic military infrastructure into this universe, the necromorph extinction cycle starts to break down. Outbreaks become containable. Harvesting becomes risky. Convergence becomes inefficient. The apocalypse stops being reliable. And a system built on reliable extinction would never allow that. Now, tie that back to the money. Everything EarthGov and Unitology does is financially impossible on a public budget alone. The scale is too large. The secrecy is too tight. The number of failures is too high for any government to justify. Entire fleets vanish. Colonies are erased. Stations go dark. Expeditions fail catastrophically. And yet, the funding never dries up. No one ever truly pulls the plug. That tells me there's a financial backbone beneath the visible institutions, a hidden economic structure that benefits from endless catastrophe, from continuous research failure, from recurring outbreaks, from controlled disaster, which suddenly makes the lack of real defense systems feel less like oversight and more like curation. Because here's the unsettling part. If EarthGov genuinely wanted to end the necromorph threat forever, they wouldn't start with weapons pointed at flesh. They would start with automation. They'd build autonomous quarantine zones, self-operating extermination satellites, drone-controlled kill corridors, machine-only containment facilities. They would remove the human mind from the loop entirely. And yet, every major defensive system in Dead Space still relies on human operators, the one variable the markers are best at corrupting. Which makes me think the apocalypse isn't just tolerated, it's managed. Someone needs the outbreaks to stay just survivable enough to gather data, just destructive enough to justify budget increases, just mysterious enough to keep the truth from the public. The necromorphs are the visible monsters, but the absence of real automated defense, that might be the fingerprint of the invisible one. A hidden enemy that doesn't attack from vents or corridors, but from boardrooms, hidden treaties, and buried funding streams. In the Dead Space universe, the scariest thing may not be what hunts humanity in the dark, but what quietly made sure humanity was never allowed to fight back properly at all.